Jó reggelt kívánok! Pascal Vilmos vagyok. Sziasztok! Csak a magyar nyelv ma. Angolul nem lehet beszélni. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah. We're allowed to speak English here. So, I was venting about how emotionally immature people get angry when you speak English in a foreign environment. Chess can be described as the movement of pieces eating one another. Oh my god. Marcel Duchamp was actually describing Pac-Man. Little did he know. Well, that's what I thought chess was about. Just taking the other pieces. That's a strange statement for, an accomplished chess player of sorts. Alright. We'll forgive him, though. He's an artist. So, not a full-time chess player. Been staying up late and waking up late since the, I guess in a sense it's a leftover from the World Senior, but actually I was waking up at 8 o'clock at the World Senior to go eat breakfast. Good morning, Father. Okay, Schumacher, you have a thing for 1900. It's like 1942, 1919, 1949, 1992. Alright, I just see a lot of numbers. No break. 5 plus 5. Alright, this is fast. Faster than our traditional 7 plus. What if I ambush you? What if I only want to play an open position? Boom. He's not ready for this. We're not ready for this. Open game. The Albin. I haven't played this variation. I haven't played the Albin. I don't really play the Albin. But I was thinking the other day about this, in general. Getting open positions, if you're good at tactics, you should be striving to force the opponent into open positions. Also, I find one problem I have, first of all, we'll talk about my problems, and then we'll do psychotherapy for you guys. But I use too much time in the opening. I use too much time in general, but especially I use too much time in the opening. And I was thinking this morning that maybe it's actually because of the stream. Because the stream, it doesn't matter. Not sure this is a good move, really, but we'll see. I use too much time in the opening. It's causing me problems later in the game. I'm losing endgames because I use up all my tournament time in the opening or something like that. Stuff like that. And, I love chess and playing all the different phases of the game, but, maybe it would be better to play a lot of mainstream openings to get through the opening more quickly and just focus on the middle game and end game, a la Magnus Carlsen. Alright, we get the A pawn back here if we're materially inclined, or we don't. Wait, that's C4? Well, okay, good luck with that. Materially inclined. For the materially inclined. Just for the materially inclined. Just for the vertically inclined. Gotta be impressed by my opponents. What is the word I'm looking for? Gumption. It's like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going. Now I have an outside 8 pawn, winning king and pawn in game. Maybe not. 5 on 3 on the king side. Maybe it's not a winning king and pawn game. No. In fact, not. We had an interesting king and pawn game yesterday from Morales. Don't deny the truth. Denial of the truth. Knight A5. Good way to lose a piece. Wow. Okay then. When in doubt, go passive and crawl up into a ball. This is my tendency, I've noticed, like in tournament chess too, sometimes against good players. My default setting seems to be passive when I'm afraid. I don't know. I didn't see anything else. I didn't trust anything else. What would I do without you? I wasn't playing like bishop d7, bishop e6 for my health, right? Oh no. Defying gravity, if you will. My opponent is like 98% intuition and 2% calculation. Wow. See, it's like he just doesn't ever make the move I expect him to make. That's why you can't base your game on calculation against this guy. He'll never play what you expect him to play. Schumacher doesn't listen to me, so I'm done lecturing. He, what is the threat there? If you don't know what the threat is, you are probably the threat. It's a take on the old poker adage. Alright. You don't know who the fish is. The fish is probably you. I'm only a pawn up here. It felt like two. Sick individual. SB, just promise you'll never wear like chess themed nail polish with little, little chess pieces on your nails. There was this creepy guy who did that when I was like in high school, or I remember at some tournaments. All right. Just promise us you'll never get a chess manicure. Schumacher, aggression factor high. Accuracy factor low. Intuition factor very high. Quickness high. Not an easy opponent for a 1949. We know that. I think he's getting on the bus. So, this is 5+5. It's meant to be for fun. I'm not going to take these games too seriously. I have a tendency to overanalyze chess games, and I have a tendency to be stupid. But it's a nice knight you've got there on d4, sire. The theme of the day. I'm threatening rook takes rook. Resigns. The man has better things to do this time than play out a lost ending. Wow. Let's take a quick look at this while we're waiting for our next victim. Apparently I made an accuracy. I know what it is too. It's something to do with my like second or third move. Clearly using a computer. Wow, E5 was the inaccuracy. Yeah, I mean 97 is not an inaccuracy. It's just the best move. One of the best moves. If you let it really run, though, I wonder, does 97 hold up? Maybe not. There's also the Kernahan variation. Thinking, poor Mark Kernahan doesn't have any games here. He was like Mr. D takes C4. Actually saw him. He was playing at the U.S. Open, I think. Mr. Coffee. Once I saw Gulko crush the guy. It was like Gulko Kernahan 1994. Queen takes d8, king takes d8. I mean, okay, you can play this position. And Kernahan was a national master. He specialized in this line, and he knew it really well. I mean, if you take an endgame where black is worse but not necessarily lost, then you really you specialize in it. I mean, okay, bloody British. But I'm curious about the opening. Where do we leave book? So his move knight c3 is actually... Wow, his move knight c3 is actually rare. And my move is a theoretical novelty. Improving on... the Pansulayos and d4. Well, I mean, I think somewhere I've seen this was better. Navarra-Rapport, whoa. So that's got to be like not an Albin. I mean, this variation wasn't even like invented yet in 2015, so what could it have been? A Chigorin? Some kind of Chigorin, maybe. Navarra-Rapport. Let's see. I'm just checking the game. Navarra-Rapport. Beal GM Tournament 2015. Yeah, it was a Chigorin. Black played knight c6. Move 2. See, it transposed. Knight f3, e5. So he, yeah. This is interesting. So he's played this a couple times. Beat Aronian with this. So that actually transposes. Interesting. And after bishop e6, so after bishop e6, we got the same position in the game, and you played bishop d2. So your bishop d2 is a theoretical novelty, but a very solid move. Bishop g5 is more active. Rapport takes. Queen d8 check. Black has to take with the knight. Navarra has only a slight edge. And an extra pawn. But I don't know how long that pawn is likely to live. Yeah, here Rapport like being overly provocative with h6. He could just play knight to c6. He could have just played knight to c6. If rook b1, you can do h6 on the next move. Close this diagonal and then castle queenside. Interesting. So bishop d2. Knight takes c3 is the best move. So actually my move, might be an inaccuracy. I don't know if this bishop b4 was really right. That's your clown, the horn on your clown car, Uber driver. Same clown car, different driver. With the United States Senate. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. I'm better. According to the engine, I'm better. Turn knight takes c3. It's unbelievable. But I'm getting my pawn back. Man, this was a tough position, I didn't want to play bishop e6. See, I am a computer. Bishop e6, bishop e5, bishop d7. I thought I might be playing too passively, to be honest. But I mean, there are threats of trapping my bishop, theoretically. With c4. Anyway. Alright. That was a nice warm-up game. Chess Video World. Phew, that's a lot of videos. Alright. I didn't mean to click on your profile, but here I am. Okay. Yeah, what am I doing? Playing e4. The Alpin opening. You had a family and a stinky baby in the car today. Better than drunk college students puking in your car. There's always a positive outlook, you know? I mean, you can always have a positive, you know, a more positive take on things if you choose to, you know? Look at this. Instantly a very critical move. All right. Looks like something one of my teammates would play. We are the world. All right. We are the children. But thanks for sharing that with us, Superdriver. Nothing like the thought of a stinky baby to get our morning going. You know, but I really hated like having kids and having people be intolerant. You've had your own child or children, so you should also be tolerant. All right. I'm not really one to teach people tolerance. Do as I say, not as I do. Perfect opening play by Black. Guess I should take this. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Black handled the opening well, you know? I hate it when you play a dubious opening and your opponent plays it really well. This is seriously terrible for white. I'll just accept that I'm slightly worse. Try to equalize. Is this really Black's best move necessarily? I'm not convinced. As I like to say in I don't know when I like to say it, but my feeling is that in double king pawn openings, bishop g4 is rarely good. So far, Black has played. Wow. F5. Knight g3, bishop d1 mate? Really? Wow. That's a crazy move. F5. I gotta check this position with the computer when I'm done. I mean, F5, really. That's quite a move you've got there. Don't really see a choice. Flank pawns. Flank stake. See, I'm not going to try to analyze 5+5 games while I'm playing them. That's another mistake I make. Like, I'm losing these games to people because I'm sitting there playing like it's 30-0 and I'm talking about the game while I'm playing, you know. I stop being practical. No, Uber driver, I don't play chess like you. Once I tried it. Because someone made a voodoo doll of me and like made me play for a cheapo. No, like sometimes cheapos are just incidental, you know. I only play incidental cheapos. My cheapos are good moves that just happen to look like cheapos. You actively play for cheapos. It's a different thing. See, I'm even like denying the possibility. Alright. Denial of service. Doctor of Dentistry. DDS. That was a stupid move. Not that stupid though. Okay. Could be worse. What the heck? Comments, questions? Whistleblowers? Yeah, I don't like playing opponents who focus primarily on time. But we try to benefit from it. Some guys are just scared to let the clock run low, like me. Well, I'll tell you what, I am in over-the-board chess. As much as I've played online, I'm still panicking when I'm playing over the board when I get anywhere even close to like low time. And it's pretty bad. I mean, I gotta move to another apartment. We're gonna have to move again. It's unbearable here. Too close to the street. I might as well live like in a tent on the street. I just do not make an adjustment for the 30 seconds increment. It's pretty bad. Oh my God. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. How do I lose like a winning position? He just takes my pawn. Wow. could have just played king d5. I'm just completely winning. I didn't even know my g-pawn was hanging. I thought I'm just clearly better. I'm not clearly better. Wow. Yeah. I was winning. It's just insane the way that Black played this game. H5 is like mentally ill. Okay. I underestimated you with 92. What kind of comment is that, man? I mean, it's like, what are you, like, is 2700 or something? This move has been played by Ivanchuk, like, tons of strong players. What are you talking about? You know, do you even have a clue what you're talking about? It's ridiculous, dude. This is so stupid. Like, the whole way people think about the game. Especially if you're using the opening explorer, it helps. Or the engine, better yet. So knight c3 is a blunder I have to take. But it's a bad opening. f4 is really the bad move, not knight e2. If you're going to point out a bad move, like, at least point out the correct move. It's an experimental move. It's been played against a lot better players than you, though. Bishop g4 is the engine move here. I want to check the f5. That's not. Okay. f5 is a mistake, actually. After f5, white is clearly better. The scary thing is that I lost this position. I got overconfident again, you know. I'm totally winning. g4 is question mark. Well, eventually I'm going to have to defend the pawn. I had this. This is very incisive. Crushing, in fact. I was totally winning at like 3 different points. But it's amazing how people manage to turn 5 + 5 into a bullet game. Popcorn 2004, 2300. Where did you come from? FIDE rating 1570, 2400 blitz. Yeah, I'll play this guy. If it's not Oh no, he's challenged me to casual 3-0 standard. Okay, Dinakis. Damn, Uber driver, you're really, dude, really, you don't follow anything. I always play faster time controls on Friday. You just are like, your OCD is showing. You've never been here on a Friday before, apparently. I've got to stop trying to annotate the game, like it's a longer game. The Kraken! Now people are getting used to the Kraken. Next thing you know, Magnus Carlsen will be playing the Kraken. Or some idiot, will be making, a blog about it and taking credit for it, Whatever. It's not really my invention. I mean, obviously, I was playing in the World Senior with Merva, who played it before me, so. H3, that's a good move, I guess. Preventing bishop g4, black's very strong move in my last game. Yeah. Yeah, good against the Philidor, too. Maybe we talked about this. H3 is interesting. Blah, blah, blah. H3, G4. Of course it's interesting. Makes a lot of sense. B5. B5, E5. No problem. Now I'm not so sure. Alright. Too much time in the opening. Did I ban anybody today? No. Annoying comments are automatically timed out. Getting a lot of this lately. I don't understand why people are playing this move. It's a really bad move for white. What if I did e6 and you took it? What if you did a double pawn sack? I don't know. I mean, c6 is good. Knight d7 is good. I have so many good moves in this position. d5 is a horrible move for white. It's literally horrible. It ruins his position. He ruins it otherwise. Although I also don't know if bishop d3 and h3 really go well together. He's just making automatic moves. What do I expect from 5+5? Really? I expect people to play perfectly. A3, H3. The Basman. You can always do A3 and H3. But D5 is an atrocity. Now it's a Sicilian. It's a good Sicilian. See, that's what I like about the Kraken. It's flexibility. You can play the Roy Lopez. You can play the Sicilian. You can play the French. You can transpose to 10 different openings. Bishop g5, another good move. See, Dinakis is not a bad sort of club blitz player, I would say. Now what do I do? This is the problem. I'm not gonna just take any old. So you gotta be rated 40 plus 40, of course. Pro keeper, like a goalkeeper or beekeeper. What do you keep? Pro keeper. What do you menace? Football. Anybody? That would be my first guess. That was the obvious one. I don't really follow football, but I live in Hungary, and apparently yesterday they survived a scare against Bulgaria. Bulgaria was winning, and somehow, like, one of the Bulgarian players headed the ball and made an own goal and allowed Hungary to make they qualified for the Euro with a game to go. And it's pronounced on. Like on solo. The European pronunciation of Han Solo is on solo. You gotta sack the change here. The spirit of Petrosian. Even if it's unsound, I gotta do it. I couldn't help myself. No, I mean, Uber Driver, I'd love to play a longer time control and spend 10 hours streaming long, thoughtful games. But the problem is I don't have enough time. So that's why the faster time control. Sadly, my opponents are actually pretty strong. Which means that it's not so easy to beat you guys. I'm playing too many like soft players in the unrated games. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll play. It's not really good for me, but I'll play these like unrated players. Most of them are really, really weak. Sometimes you get a good opponent, and I think overall it's like bad for my game. But I get to practice like openings and stuff, so no stress. Generally, you should play the strongest players you can play. I think playing weaker players than you makes you... It's not only making you softer, you know. Arsenal fan. What is that? Listening only. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to look at me. You might... I'm like a Medusa. If you look at me, you'll turn to stone. So, if you play weaker players, I realize this. Nice to have Arsenal back in the fold. G5's a little reckless by white, no? How's your pawn structure doing? But what I was saying was, it's interesting. You know, it's not just that playing weaker players than you makes you weaker, because you're not tested. I think what I'm seeing from people is like it makes you play like really loosely aggressive, more aggressive than you should, you know. That's the number one thing I notice from players. They're just like ridiculously like loose aggressive when they're primarily playing weaker players. Like they have absolutely no fear and they're extremely reckless. Because they can get away with murder. They're not playing strong enough opposition. I'm like terrified of my own shadow because I'll generally play like strong players over the board. Try to play strong players only. So maybe I should even play more lower rated players because I try to be careful to play only like my rating or higher or around my rating. I don't play anyone who's 18, 1900. Then I play these people online who are like 1400. You see these people with like FIDE 1490, FIDE 1500. I mean, I don't know what to do with that, you know. I haven't played anyone below like 18, 1900 FIDE like ever in my life since 1998 or something. Now this isn't a model exchange sacrifice. What a pawn structure. Which minor piece do I give here? Check. My knight's not really like... Oops, I have that. That's a good move. I could use another pawn. Uber driver, should I tell you your problem? I think I already told you. You have like clinical dogma disorder. They call you Dr. Dogma in some circles. It's like, Jesus, dude. Clinically dogmatic. You're just sick with it, man. And you're proud of it. You know, you're like, I'm dogmatic and proud. I mean, we're all dogmatic to some degree. But, I mean, Uber driver takes it to an extreme. It feels good to win a game after that last one. I didn't ban him though for beating me. I just simply timed him out. He's like, oh, you didn't take me seriously with 92. Actually, that's not a bad move. F4 is a bad move. He didn't even tell me what the right bad move was. Alright, you're not allowed to beat me. I'm gonna drift here. I only have, what, 3 pawns for the exchange? He's not big on pawn structure, this one. Alright, somebody came. A neighbor's doorbell's ringing. That's annoying. What the hell? Why is that door ringing like that? I'm gonna have to leave, guys. Hello? I'm in the middle of the stream and the box sheet here. Yeah. I don't know, someone was ringing. No, but there's nobody there. They were ringing very hard for like... Yeah, no time. Did I lose on time yet? I thought it was a neighbor's door, but it was mine. Alright. Nobody was supposed to come. I don't know what that was. I still don't know. They were ringing the doorbell for like a minute. Then I went there and there was nothing. And now I don't know what's up. When I finally answered the doorbell, it stopped. So I really don't understand. I mean, sometimes there's like random people who are trying to like put shit in the mailbox, and they'll ring the doorbell of some random apartment, hoping that you open the door. They can put like random stuff in people's mailboxes. But I thought this was the neighbors. He quit while he was getting quite good. Wow. The other thing was like there was this guy who was supposed to come and fix stuff in my apartment today, but they said it was like they were coming at 2. It's like 12:30 now, so I was like, okay, it can't be that. Nobody goes like an hour and a half early to their appointment. Dinekus has hardcore like playing for time problems. You're seriously... He really wants to win on time. Really badly. I still have my 3 pawns. Could be 4 soon. Uber like dogmatically judges people's styles. Alright, he's a dogmatic judge of skill. No. Obviously Arsenal fan has talent. He's just... Alright. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't do that with stuff, though. They get really good and then they stop. You know, and then they come back 20 years later and then they stop. Then they come back 20 years later and they stop, you know. I'm too addicted to chess to stop, though. I mean... Dinekus. What are these people? Will Kings? Alright, whatever. Can I close these out? Report? No, I can't. Why are people writing dumb notes here? I only play for fun. I just randomly click shit with my mouse. You don't think you have any talent? Well, you have some kind of talent. I mean, you have talent for being competitive, if nothing else. You are a tough competitor, if nothing else. I mean, I think. I could say the same thing. You know, I don't have talent. I worked my way up. But I think you're more talented than most people. It's not a lost cause, Arsenal. You know, you're not a lost cause. Well, I try really hard too. I burn a lot of calories while I'm playing. I'm gonna try hard. Okay. Yeah, I have to move to a new apartment. This apartment is too noisy. I can't open the window, and then if I open the window, then it's like too noisy. If it's not open, then I'm like suffocating. My last apartment was too hot in the summer. I had no air conditioning upstairs. I have to find another apartment now. Then I have to sell 2 apartments. Where is only play for fun? It's like a catch-22. If I open the window, there's this loud street noise. If I don't open it, I'm like suffocating. We have mosquitoes in November. This is my Kraken. Oh, Arsenal didn't get to meet the Kraken yet. There's a new sheriff in town. I gotta decide between X apartments and lease. Yeah, well, I've got like 2 apartments and it's like a really bad market and I can't sell them and I have no money. I mean, it's not a joke. I have 2 apartments and I have no cash and I can't sell the apartments because the market is like a disaster. So, you know, I need a place to live. You know, an apartment it's not like a liquid asset. I mean, I can't sell these very easily. So I could be on the street with 2 apartments. My other one is in need of renovation. The market here is a disaster, man. Nobody's buying anything. You could put an apartment up for sale and it could sit there for like a year and no one would buy it because the mortgage rates are like unbelievable. Really, really high mortgage rates, and no one can afford to buy a house or apartment or anything, you know. So I'm sorry that I put my money into this because now I have no money, you know. I can't go to the supermarket and buy my groceries with a house, you know, or an apartment or whatever. Oh, I should take a loan from the bank. That's a good idea, right? Can I rent an apartment out? Yeah. But I have to renovate the other one. I have no money to do that either. Which means if I want to rent one, I have to renovate the other one. And this is going to be like borrowing money from the bank type of shit. I'd rather just sell them. Sell one or both. I made a big mistake by buying this apartment. Now I have no cash. I know it's a tough life, isn't it? Alright. Sorry. It's a shame I'm not a billionaire. It's a damn shame. I can't even pay my credit cards off. It's like I'm racking up credit card debt because I have no cash. Yeah, it's like no matter how small your problems are, they seem like massive, right? It's all about perspective. Arsenal fans absolutely right. One man's problem is another man's, like, you know, joy. I mean, maybe I'm just gonna be like stressed out no matter what. But I don't like having no cash. But anyway, I was just talking about the fact that I made a huge mistake. I prepared for like a year to buy a new place to live here, and now it's not working out. So when I did that, at least I had some cash left, and now I'm running out of cash. So my options are getting more and more limited. I mean, most homeless people own 2 or 3 homes. All right. It's a Sicilian. It's a Najdorf, actually. Najdorf in reverse. Well, I mean, usually the Kraken transposes to the Najdorf. What? Oh, I had c5? No, it wasn't interesting. Oh. Wait. Oh, yeah. No, it was interesting. Right. I'm not, like, winning a pawn, though. I mean, he's going to play bishop f8. Okay. This guy dropped it. He's just like, I had another opponent yesterday who did something like h6, c5. And, yeah, it was really bad. He had to play e4, even though it didn't come close to working. I mean, okay, at least play for fun was like defending his pawn. Everything annoys me. Especially spilling coffee on myself. Alright. What are we doing for time? Okay, we got 40 minutes left. Speaking of h6, I used to play the Scheveningen all the time, and I got Najdorf type of position, so this is right up my alley. Actually, very similar to last game. You can always sacrifice the exchange. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Mr. Coffee, you unbanned Arsenal. I'm just kidding. Mr. Coffee, look who's here. I was hoping we could get him back. Bygones, be bygones. Crackpotamus. And lately on Facebook I'm getting these like fake accounts that like follow every comment I made lately, and they're like, they liked it. Just some random women, usually, of course. They're not real. I mean, they're bots. And then like you go to their profile and they followed all these like Arabic accounts that you can't read because it's in Arabic. Why are the Facebook bot accounts after me? Gotta wash this coffee out. But it's weird because I never had that before. Just lately in the last... I hate Facebook anyway. I'm using it less and less. I hate social media in general. Does anybody have Mastodon? Because I never used Twitter, but I thought maybe like Mastodon would be okay. I know that it's like different. I don't really like any social media. I like Krakens. Oh, Mastodon the band. Is Kraken a heavy metal band too? Wait, I'm thinking of Tekken. Look how solid black is being. Okay. There's a lot of pent up energy in white's position. Can you play more solidly? What I like about Only Play for Fun, though, look, they're 2250, but they play like they're not wildly aggressive, you know, where they're like bashing on 1300s every game. They play aggressively, but in a controlled way. You know, I mean, that's the way you should play. It's like, okay, there's stylistic differences that are reasonable, but not everyone's the same. But I've just been running into a lot of people lately who are recklessly aggressive to their own detriment. I mean, you're really asking for it now. You know that, right? Kapling! I've been setting this up for hours now. All of White's pieces are perfectly placed. With Bishop on d6. Kraken is deadly. It really is. Ooh, black is dead here. Wow. What's the best crushing move? I need a place for mom. Okay, queen b3. Maybe not the safest square. Queen c2. Pent-up energy. I never took physics. What is that called again? Well, if he does knight takes d4, I take with the bishop, and my bishop and queen are guarding. I was hoping there would be nothing for black, but who knows? I just want a piece here. He actually did knight f4 against me in my simul the other day. He had the same kind of piece sacrifice. Okay, he's not the safest player in the world, but he's not totally irrationally aggressive like some people. You know, people are just take it too far. Pling. Ding, 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 ding. Set him up for the next game. He's still alive. Are we having fun yet? It's hard to finish him off. It really is. Stopping bishop a7. Sees everything. Alright. Was there any salvation anywhere for black? This is an ideal Kraken, by the way. Well, reverse Kraken. Accelerated, no. It's a reverse Kraken. Kraken in reverse. But when I play here, I mean, I don't know. He has d4. He has d4. d4, e4, knight d4, c5. Now that's a weird continuation. So this is a problem for me, it turns out. I mean, if I had one more move of development. So maybe I'm playing c4 too early. I should play bishop e2 first. Probably. Anyway. But let's see what there was a chance for black or not. The way it went into the Sicilian. It's a very good Sicilian for white. I mean, for black. Whatever I am. Like an ideal Sicilian. Yeah. So apparently I could have played d4 right away. Yeah, d4 right away. I over-prepared it. Now it's crushing. My best move is d5. What? So computer doesn't want to try to win a piece. It wants to just, like, take the e5 pawn. Ugh. Yeah, this is really bad. I mean, this is how... This system, although it's not objectively that good for white, this Kraken thing, if you don't realize what's happening to you, it's very sneaky, you know? Next thing, there's a tentacle around your deck and you're dead. And the other thing is, like, it looks like, oh, white's a moron, you know, what's he doing? Like, e3. A lot of people don't realize it's, like, a serious thing. I'm like, do. Oh, don't worry, we can play Kraken. How much does it take to make an octopus laugh? 8 tickles. Wait, what do you mean 10? Why is it 10? Wait, I don't get it. Why 10? Oh, 10 tickles. I'm such an idiot. I said 8 tickles. Oh my god. I'm so literate. You know what we're going to have to do, right? The Kraken. Accelerated Kraken. It's a complete repertoire. I can make a blog about it. You know, we can play it with both colors. Or you can play the Scando Kraken. Pawn takes d4, queen takes d4. Remember the game we looked at yesterday? Where the hero played queen takes d5, queen takes d8, d5, and queen a5 in the Scando type of structure. I don't like this a3 necessarily. That's an issue. Maybe I should think about this. But I mean, my d4 needs to be supported. Support this! He could play c4. But, you know, a lot of people aren't going to want to do that. But I don't want to take on c5 yet. When do I take on c5? When and if? Uh-oh. Bishop g5, pawn takes pawn. Queen takes d4, knight c6. I could play bishop b5 there. This is not convincing. Bishop g5 doesn't feel quite right. I don't rightly know like which is my good bishop and which is my bad bishop. I guess technically that's my bad bishop. I don't really have a pawn center once this pawn evaporates. But I, you know, kind of did have a dark square pawn structure. The remains of the dark square pawn chain, like here. This is more or less my bad bishop, I guess. Black's center is based on white square, d5, f7, queen e7 check. That can't be right, bro. That's not a good move, my friend. Mein friend. Balkan guys always talk like this. Mein friend. Maybe it sounds more German. Whatever. Queen e7 is a terrible move for black. Bangtown, California. I'm playing French with white. Whatever. You know what I mean. Queen e7, not recommended. The other thing is like people get confused if you just Balkan video game characters. I want a Balkan burger now. No, it's not a joke. The ruined pubs here, they serve something called like Balkan burgers, which is Pleshkovica or whatever burger. It's like Balkan sausage burger. Mitch burger. Minced meat burger. How bad is this for black? Good thing I'm not playing Dosodmirsky or something. He had queen takes d5. What? Oh my god, what? Queen takes d5. What are we talking about? Oh, he had queen takes d5. Right. I have no idea what... Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously he has queen takes d5. He had to play queen takes d5. Maybe he's better. I completely overlooked it. I don't even understand how black is remotely okay. The way this opening went. Like, I should have been clearly better. Where did it go? What did I do? I overconfidently believed in my position. Bishop takes f6 was a big mistake. It was a big mistake. But what am I supposed to do there, actually? You know, it's not so clear. It's really not that clear. You know, I mean, it's tricky. It looks like black is playing some kind of very stupid pawn sacrifice. And then you're just like, wait a minute, maybe it's not so stupid. You know, I'm suddenly like Rubinstein losing to Dosmirsky or something. Why must I lose to this idiot? Well, that was a different player, but you get the point, you know? If you underestimate. Well, we all have... Wow. Bishop h3. We all have people at a certain level that we tend to underestimate. Learning chess is a very strange cat, chessically speaking. Queen a5 check. Queen a5 check, queen d2. Oh my god. I think I have to take. It's absolutely standard. This is a totally standard position. I'm not going to even start talking about this player or how weird they are or how strange all my games have been with them. They're like super anonymous. We've had extremely inconsistent, strange games with them. And obviously they're not using a computer. But I still can't rationalize how they can be so completely and utterly like unpredictable in terms of playing strength. It's almost like totally random. One day they're 1200, the next day they're like 2200. I mean, I just have no idea. Okay, I am up a piece at this point now. But there's always some sort of danger, isn't there? Takes, rook b1. Not so easy. This is a little dangerous. But I've got to believe that the black king is less safe than the white king here. Knight e7 check is a mistake. Where's the mate? I'm going to get mated. Wildly aggressive. Speaking of wildly aggressive, Jesus Christ, dude. Bishop takes f2 check. I mean, wow. It almost worked. But you know, like, black's problem, if you look at their profile, you're like, okay, 3,200 blitz games, 1,200 rapid games, 478 classical games, and then you're like 23,000 bullet games. Destroys your chess. You know, I mean, forget the bullet games. You don't need that. It's just blitz is enough. Development. I love bishop takes f2. What am I going to do now? Check, trade queens, and win a rook. What a game. Arsenal, back in the day, I played 1,000,000 bullet games. Protect your mental health. It didn't help. Dude, what's your point? You're like a case study. And actually, I knew like Uber driver before those bullet games, and he was a relatively like decent player at some point. Oh, he was burnt out. Well, there's burnout from chess, and bullet is something else. You know, I mean, don't play bullet. I mean, first of all, but all right, analysis. What a position we had in opening. This was very cool. I've also been playing, and I recommend this, like with black. Hello. I've been playing seriously e4, a6, because against this, you know, if I play d6, I get all kinds of random responses and shit. Like people will do f4, I don't know, bishop c4. You get all kinds of moves. But if you play a6, I mean, white can play c4, lane c3, okay, whatever. But mostly, like 90% of my opponents will play d4. Then you can play the Kraken, accelerated Kraken with d6, or you can play e6. Now, Uber Driver, you could play, for example, e4, e6, d4, a6. Christian Bauer has used this a lot, and I think it's a good way to play the French, to get people out of kind of mainline book. You're still going to play like a delayed d5. So c4 is not really dangerous. I've got d5. I played the same thing. Look at Christian Bauer here. And, you know, so most people will go with some kind of, like, advanced variation. Look at the score here. Just look for a second. Against a6, knight f3, d5, white's score with e takes d5, no wins in 17 games. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I think because you get people playing the exchange variation that don't even play the exchange variation, they just don't know what to do. You know, objectively, white's best move here is what, like knight c3, probably. Anyway, just a suggestion. I'm trying to do that with white here in this game. You know, I'm playing a French deferred with the white pieces. I've had good results with this. But my opponent played c5. You know, I want to play like d5, d4 probably. Or you can play a rope-a-dope, a Kraken here with knight like d3. But he plays c5, dubious. I like how the computer calls this dubious, really. That's a little exaggeration. d5 was best. Okay. So now, watch this. Takes. It's an exchange. French. d5, Arsenal fan, I think, liked this move, and I agree. Now, this is critical. No games in the opening Explorer. Dude, look at the analysis engine. Plus 0.4. I mean, the bottom line is like a3 is a fairly constructive move, I guess, in these kind of exchange Frenches. It fits into the model. So now I should do knight f3? No, knight c3. Yeah, bishop g5 may have been a mistake. I don't know. It's a mistake, probably. Not clear. Okay, and then this is obviously a mistake. Queen e2 is my best move. It's hard to say what white should play now. I don't know about queen e2. That doesn't seem right. Here, and then knight c6. Wow. Oh, so now I'm supposed to play d takes c5, not knight takes d5. I got suckered into this obvious move, thinking I'm just totally winning. And then I became overly optimistic. At this point, exactly. Like, oh, black doesn't know what he's doing. I'm crushing him. Blah blah blah. Major inaccuracy. This is much better, apparently. So what do I do on bishop e6? Wow. Is that a problem? Okay, I mean, queen e7 is a really bad move, and it should be punished. Black should not play queen e7. Here, it's close to a Marshall variation, isn't it? Here, knight f3, bishop takes c5. You can sack a pawn here. This looks very reasonable. Bishop f6, queen f6. It's like a Tarash. But anyway, this was funny. Okay, so here was a mistake, and Arsenal's right. He has to play queen takes d5, which I completely spaced on queen takes d5. I'm lucky I'm not lost, Arsenal. I'm really lucky that I'm not lost after bishop h4. Queen takes g2. I have bishop f3. And it's unclear. But, there was this. This is like kind of weird because it's hard for me to complete my development. If I had more time, maybe I would consider that move. It looks like a Panov or something. Okay, I've got to go. This is my last game. Orc swarms. Swarms of orcs. Orc swarm. Krakopotamus. But see, if I do a6, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to play c4? Aren't you? Admit it. If you play c4, I'll play e6. Oh no, the London is illegal. I forgot to tell you. Okay, a6 doesn't help much against the London. London very effective against a6, by the way. We could transpose with knight c3, knight f6, e4 to a position I had the other day. An orc swarm. He's just a kind of tricky orc swarm. They're massing troops at the border of Mordor. You find all the critical continuations, Uber driver. See? No, he's a follower of the Jababa London. Maybe b5 is a good move here, but it's not necessarily great. But I want to play this because we could reach the position from the other day. Actually, I like a6 against the Jababa London, but only with like e6 and d5 normally, not with d6. I'm not sure that this... Yeah, okay, it stops this knight b5 in some lines. That's more relevant with the pawn on d5, though. You won't find any games in the Opening Explorer, like the Master Games Opening Explorer with this position, probably. Although you'll find like 1,000 games in lichess. So we had e4 the other day. That was the critical continuation. This is more of a Jababa London. No, this is a Hebden. What's it called? The Barry attack. Barry attack for white. Uh-huh. I won against the London at the World Senior. This guy did it. He played the London against me. Interesting. Have you seen my dark square bishop? Can I introduce you? You've never lost in London over the board either. I once lost to FIDE Master Brian McCarthy. He was really addicted to playing the London way back in the day. He called it the Dolly after Dolly Teasley, National Master Dolly Teasley, is playing the London, I guess, in her day. Have I lost any other Londons? Not to my recollection, but I sure have had some draws against it. Mostly draws. Well, as I was talking to one of my students yesterday, like, the worst opening you could possibly play, even as much as I hate the London, just objectively, it's like the worst opening you can possibly play, because everybody's been, like, trending it for, like, 5 to 7 years, you know? You don't want to play something that everyone's been playing for the last 7 years. I mean, everyone is, like, booked to the gills how to play against the London. It's literally, like, the worst choice you can make in a competitive setting. You know, if you're just, like, at the chess club, you want to learn how to play chess, okay, fine. You know, you're 1200, you're learning how to play chess, whatever. But if you're a tournament player, it's, like, really stupid to play the London at this point. I mean, I never liked it, but honestly, we're now approaching a time when it's just, like, bordering on suicide. English opening is quick to learn. Yeah, I mean, the English opening is systematic, and it's not bad. I think the problem with the English opening, Arsenal fan, and I really am coming to realize this more and more, I mean, is the reverse Sicilian, is the acid test. You are essentially playing black. And I always kind of felt, I never really felt it because I wasn't playing strong players so much. But it feels like today I can feel the difference when I'm playing the English and people play e5, and I play the English and people play other stuff. e5 is the one move that can be scary. Nothing else is scary if you play the English. You have to be careful. I mean, you know, you remember you're playing black with an extra move, but you're still black, essentially, when you play the English. You're playing a hyper-modern opening. I got absolutely, like, my ass handed to me in the last round of the Hungarian Team Championship last year by this up-and-coming, you know, FIDE Master kid. You know, I let my guard down, and I played slowly. It was e4... It was c4, e5, knight c3, bishop b4. He played the old accelerated Rossalimo, and let's just say I never castled with white, and I got wrecked because I was overconfident and underestimating, you know, fundamentally how dangerous the situation is. You have to be aware. You know, you're playing the Sicilian, and your king is in the center of the board. And I really hadn't gotten that, like, destroyed in a long time. It was just a wake-up call. I always felt like playing the English, I feel safe. But Saul Goodman. This is awful for white. Maybe he has a chance. White better act fast, or this offer will not last. Yeah, the rook takes a2. Okay, that was before we had our divorce. I mean, it made me rethink like playing the English altogether. You know, I have to be very careful. I think my whole perception of, look at this move. Wow, e4. He found one of the key moves. e4, a4. You better act now. Yeah. Takes, takes, takes. Jesus. Does this work? It just made me realize my whole perception that the English is a safe opening is totally like... I've lost a bunch of games with white in the English with this stupid idea that like I'm playing a safe opening when I'm playing the English. I think I need to reevaluate that whole concept. Knight f3 is a safe move. You know, you are developing your king side. You are developing your king's knight. You're enabling kingside castling in just a couple moves. You know, I think I always link like knight f3 and c4 in the same category, and it's not the same. You know, I mean, knight f3 is just like a move that controls two central squares, develops a piece. It's objectively better than c4. I regret this, you know. I don't know what to do. Clean pawn. Where was the clean pawn? I feel like I'm playing the Najdorf now. Yeah, we'll see after the game. I may have had something better. I could grovel my way to a draw here. And White's position is really ugly, but he's not dead yet. Arsenal fan. He's our Michael Caine. Oh no, Queen C1. You know, if you try to guess the opening, right? Imagine someone shows you this position and they're like, okay, guess the opening. What would be the chances that you guessed it was a London system? Well, wouldn't be my first choice. C4, E5, knight f3, E4, the Rachmaninoff. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously not normal. And Rachmaninoff is going out on a limb with that crap. You know, he's like a specialist. But until him, like, virtually no one played that stuff. Why are you calling it a reverse Alapin, by the way? It's not a reverse Alapin. It's a reverse Nimzovich, Rubinstein variation, whatever. The Alapin is with c3. I mean, knight f6, e5, knight d5 happens in the Alapin, but why is Orc Swarm defending this so well? I think Orc Swarm is... Orc Swarm has to be from India. Norway, India. There was a certain player on my stream who's from India who constantly like put Norway. I don't know why. Maybe they're an Indian from Norway. Could be the same guy. Is that a sacrifice on e6 I smell? Something burning in here. Jesus Christ. It Orc Swarms, 1940, 1900. Oh my god. 20,000 bullet games. Yes, this looks familiar. 20,000 bullet games. Holy shit. It's not a coincidence. Wow. It's a multiple counter. Workstorms has to be a Smurf account for one of their other accounts. They just created the account and played 20,000 bullet games. Learning chess a Smurf account or something. There's the guy at my Simul's who has six accounts. They're an expert in like not getting mated for sure. It's not even a question. But it's funny how a player with 24,000 bullet games would really never have played me before. That's a lot of bullet games you got there, bro. You should cut back. Alright, I gotta go. We gotta go. I've got important business. Can I play you 1 minute blitz? Learning from you too. I'm at 1200 to 1300. Sorry, it's 1337 now, so it's too late. I got from 1400 to 1500. A lesson. I'll see you guys later. Nice knowing you. Thanks everybody for your support. Bye bye.